5 ways to make up for lost time. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how do we make up for lost time? How do we make up ground as we're building and growing and supersizing our business? This idiom, this expression has been around since at least 1774, and I know I've heard it. I know I've definitely felt it as I've been going through my life and building and growing and supersizing different businesses, which is just building and growing businesses, right? I like the word supersizing because I think it's fun and it's what I want to do. I want to start small and then explode and create something that has a positive impact on the world. I want to do that in a lot of different areas, and I've done that in a lot of different areas, and I will continue to until the day I decide I'm done and I'm ready to retire. So what the heck does this mean? To make up for lost ground. It of course means to overcome some delay, some disadvantage, or a setback and return to some sort of normal or optimal position, typically by hurrying up or doing something more quickly than before. I think COVID pandemic, what have we done? A lot of companies were shut down, especially in the hospitality industry, and now we're seeing supply chain impact, et cetera, in a lot of different industries. I think we're going to see the impact of COVID for a decade or decades to come. I think decades to come, because I think the impact on kids and education, all of us on social interaction and our ability to be considerate human beings, et cetera. I think a lot of things have been impacted by COVID. So how do we return to some sort of normal pace of living, et cetera? There's some things I don't think I'll ever go back on. I don't think I'll ever spend as much time grocery shopping or any kind of shopping as I ever did before. I am definitely hooked on buy it and pick it up at the store, or on buy online or shop online and pick it at the store. Number one, save me literally thousands of dollars a year. And I haven't even calculated how many hours, but I know it saved me a ton of time and energy. Our topic for not for Supersize Your Business, for the annual challenge today is time versus money. What is more valuable and how do you feel? And we talked about 10 different ways to value your time at more than we probably do in our daily lives. But today let's talk about what are some ways, at least 5 ways to make up for lost time in our business. And I will contend that we can't go to the past, right? There's no way to really make up for lost time. There's no way to take unless we pivot and change and make up for opportunities we didn't take advantage of, customers and sales and things we didn't have in the past, and missed opportunities. There's always more opportunities, but we're not going to go back and recapture those. Some of them we might, but not all of them, because the world is ever changing, and what was an opportunity 2 years ago is probably not an opportunity today, right? If you decide today that you're going to get into the hand sanitizer business, maybe not the best time, right? Maybe not the best decision, unless you have some awesome competitive advantage and some super tremendous way to sanitize things. So what are these ways to compensate for lost time? Number one, we can't allow ourselves to feel guilty about what we did or didn't do, right? All of it is to teach us something and to show us something that we need to see, something that we needed to experience. A lot of it is, hey, when times change, we have to be willing to change. And sometimes we need to be willing to change faster. Number two, start now and forget about the past, right? We can, and I'm dealing with a client right now that's in this position. They are just over and over and over and over again on the past. And I'm like, we need to get out of that. We need to get out of problem and commiserating mode and jump into what are we going to do about this now? From today on, what can we do differently? And it doesn't matter what we did or didn't do in the past. Let's build on the things that we did that were great, and let's let go of the things that no longer work. Number three, create and share a short summary so that you can go back and review what happened in whatever situation that you're talking about or that you're feeling like you need to make up ground for. A lot of times in corporate America, when we make budgets at the beginning of the year or the end of the previous year, and we're tracking and we're saying, well, are we on our budget or not? Sometimes we're on our budget, sometimes we're way over our budget, and sometimes we're under our budget. And if we look at that like, oh, we've lost ground because we're way over our budget, well, maybe we decided to do a whole bunch of different projects and things that weren't included in the budget when we first made that budget. It's just a plan that we are predicting the future. I don't know about you, but I'm not a fortune teller, and I've never been able to predict the future. Most of the processes that I've used in corporate America and outside of corporate America to predict or create budgets are based on past performance and expectations of a certain amount of growth or change. Well, I think COVID blew all that up, as a lot of other events in our businesses and in our lives do. So we want to learn, but I like to create a short summary or a short report of what happened and document that so that we capture the lessons learned. We realize what we did well and we do more of that. We realize what didn't work and we decide that we have to change and not do that anymore. Number 4, don't force things to happen. I like to say cattle prod them and encourage them to happen, but don't force things. If you're forcing something, if you're trying to force a change that the time is not right for, it's more likely to fail. And finally, 5, take it one day at a time. Take it step by step. Do what you can with what you've got right now. That's one of my favorite approaches and sayings, because so often we want to wait to take action until all the pieces fall into place, but we don't have all the pieces, especially now with literally shortages of raw materials, shortages of components, having a challenge getting different things. We have to be willing to go back to the drawing board, redesign our processes and our procedures, and figure out what can we do with what we've got right now, and not regret what isn't available now because it is impacting our system. Figure out how we're going to do it. I guess we want to repeat what works and what's worked in the past, and we want to build on our strengths. Those are a couple that I would add when it comes to making up ground. I'd also say that making up for lost time, again, can't change the past, so we really can't make up for it, but that doesn't mean we can't accelerate the future by doing things that are best for us, for our customers, for the people that are building our business with us. There's always ways to be more efficient and more effective. I always look for efficiency and effective changes in our processes and systems that people can declining. I don't know why. I guess I'm late today. So any questions? Love to know your experience with this particular idiom. Do you believe you can make up for lost time or make up ground? Depends on the project. Sometimes projects ebb and flow. It's like with project management as well, right? Different projects, we create these timelines, knowing that, just like having business plans, knowing that we create them, but there's a 100% chance that they're not going to be 100% accurate. All right, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow for another contribution-related idiom for this month. Have a great day.